Hello there, and welcome to the Journey Towards Tranquility podcast. My name is Gail, and I am your host for this weekly podcast. I hope everyone is well and having a great day. If not, I am here to help. So as I sat here thinking about what I wanted to do for this second podcast, I got woken up this morning by a bang of thunder, then the sound of crackling lightning and thunder again. I immediately got up. I felt the energy, the exhilaration. I didn't want to miss it. You see, my biggest ASMR trigger is storms. I feel excitement, tingling. And no, not the tingling of almost being struck by lightning. The tingling that comes from a reaction to a sound that makes you feel good, that excites you, or just plain soothes. That is what ASMR is. I took it as a sign that this is what this episode should be about. And yes, I believe in signs. I have to. But that is for another episode. I have some stories to tell you about some of my experiences that led to my fascination with storms. But first, let's talk about the science behind ASMR and exactly what it is. ASMR, which stands for Autonomous Sensory Meridian Response, is when you feel a tingly sensation that starts on your head and moves down your neck and back when you hear or see certain things. Everyone has memories of things that bring them happiness. It could be recent or nostalgic, bringing back memories from childhood when you felt safe, protected, and loved. It's like a tickling feeling that some people find really nice and relaxing. It can be triggered by sounds or videos that make you feel calm, like sounds of nature. Many people find ASMR videos or recording enjoyable and relaxing, especially combined with various sounds of nature. There are lots of benefits to experiencing ASMR. Here are some of the things that people often say it helps with. Feeling relaxed and less stressed. ASMR sounds can make you feel calm and help you relax when you're feeling stressed out. The gentle sounds and triggers in ASMR videos create a peaceful atmosphere that can make you feel tranquil and calm. First would be sleeping better. Listening to ASMR sounds before bedtime can help you fall asleep faster and have a more restful sleep. The soft sounds can cover up any background noise and create a cozy environment that makes it easier to relax and fall asleep. Second would be managing anxiety and insomnia. ASMR and certain sounds can help people who have anxiety or trouble sleeping. The soothing and repetitive sounds create a feeling of comfort and can help take your mind off of anxious thoughts, making you feel more peaceful. Third would be being able to focus better. Some people find that listening to ASMR and nature sounds helps them concentrate and stay focused on their task. The relaxing sounds create a calm background noise that makes it easier to ignore distractions and be more productive. Fourth, practicing mindfulness and meditation. ASMR and nature sounds can be used during mindfulness exercises or meditation. The gentle sounds can help you stay focused on the present moment and be more aware of what's happening around you. Finally, fifth would be enjoying a unique sensory experience. For many people, ASMR triggers and certain sounds create a special feeling that is really enjoyable. The tingling sensation and the sounds can make you feel really good and satisfied. So, ASMR is this cool thing where certain sounds or videos can make you feel tingly and relaxed. It can help you with stress, sleep, anxiety, focus, mindfulness, and it just feels nice. When I was a kid, growing up in the suburbs of Detroit, we used to see funnel clouds. Most never touched down, but I found it so very cool. There was one day when one of those funnel clouds was sweeping across land. I had this little orange table with 4 matching chairs, kid size, you know. It was great. It had a top that lifted up so you could store things like paper, pencils, and my favorite, crayons. Don't laugh now. Every kid loves crayons. Me and my friends used to cart that table to whoever's house we were going to. That day, I was at my friend's house 3 doors down. The wind started blowing ferociously. The sky was almost black. But we all still sat there drawing at that precious table. Next thing I knew, my parents were calling me to come home and to hurry. And I don't mean calling me like on the cell phone. We are all so lazy now. Calling isn't yelling to me. I sure as heck wasn't leaving my table. So I grabbed that table and carried it over my head, almost being blown away. And my 2 friends grabbed the chairs. Of course, all the parents were now going nuts, telling us to leave the table, but no way. I made it home, and down to the basement we all went. You could hear the roar of the tornado, crackling and crunching. I don't remember being scared at all. I remember being curious, and honestly, I couldn't wait to get outside. When the noise subsided, one by one, you could see the neighbors exiting their houses. Everyone stood there in amazement. Our street was one house next to the other. Every house had a giant Dutch elm tree growing in the easement, just past the sidewalk. I don't know what I was expecting when we went outside, but that tornado had gone directly down the middle of the street, not touching one house. But it got the trees. About half on the block were uprooted and blown down. They were scattered on people's lawns and in the street. There was a lot of us kids on that block, and I remember us all climbing amongst the trees in the road. The tornado had passed, but you could still feel the electricity in the air. That was my first experience with ASMR. From that moment on, I was hooked. When it would storm, I would peek my head out the window from my top bunk and just listen to the thunder and watch the lightning. Years later, in 1998, to be exact, I moved to Florida with my kids and pets and a big U-Haul trailer. After only being there for maybe a week or so, there was a tropical storm warning. If you ask me now, I wouldn't blink at a tropical storm. But being a newbie to Florida, I wasn't sure what to expect. The warning lasted throughout the night, and so did I. Sitting in the Florida room, surrounded by windows, I watched, and I felt that same feeling that had happened dozens of times before. Excitement, energy, a thrill. My reason for staying up was to observe and make sure my kids were safe, but it was nonetheless thrilling. I am about 20 miles from the Gulf of Mexico, probably 15 as the crow flies. There was one hurricane that got us good. Minor damage, but that bugger hovered and danced in the Gulf adjacent to us for 3 days. We lost power. I cooked and made coffee on the grill. We burned candles and had lanterns going. That rain and wind continued for days, but even without electricity, I remember it fondly. It was bonding. Now, having lived here for so many years, I'm used to tropical storms, hurricanes, and just plain severe storms. I can tell when a storm is approaching, not necessarily by the clouds, but the wind will start to pick up, always blowing from the Gulf. You can smell the salt air, and I get that same feeling. Exhilaration, energy, electricity. I have been outside in the midst of a hurricane and felt its power. Now that all my kids are grown, I usually go to my daughter's for safety. My backyard has 2 giant water oaks that are probably at least 100 years old, which are beautiful, but I sure as heck don't want one toppling over, crashing through the roof and mooshing me while I'm inside. Some of my fondest memories, believe it or not, are during hurricane or hurricane warnings. For me, it's about family gathering, keeping each other safe, and the wonders of nature. That is ASMR. Many people find videos or recordings enjoyable and relaxing, especially when combined with various sounds and natures. Oftentimes, These triggers are associated with memories. I would love for you to share your stories in the comments. What is your ASMR trigger? Is it ocean waves? That's my second. Is it rustling leaves walking through the forest? Birds singing, reminding you of time spent out in nature? How about wind or a fan blowing? Night sounds like crickets and frogs, a stream gently flowing. Almost everyone has a sound that reminds them of well-being. Well, that is it for this week. I hope you enjoyed my little trip down memory lane, although that is only a fraction of my experiences. I'm sure you get the drift. Thanks for tuning in, and until next time, wishing you much peace, love, and happiness. Take care, stay safe, and keep exploring the world of sound.